There is a quote that says, "Pain shared is pain divided. Joy shared is joy multiplied," by Dave Grossman. After a year of isolation, let's come together for a healing retreat where we companion and hold sacred space with each other. Expressing our shared experiences of isolation, pain, and change facilitates healing our hearts and reducing the anxiety that many of us have been feeling during this transition from isolation to re-entry. We will practice a variety of modalities to identify our feelings, to confidentially share our experiences, and to heal, and discover how the divine has shown up during the pandemic and also continues to show up in our lives as we re-enter into the world back to a new normal. This one-day retreat is an opportunity to transition back into the world with ease and grace. So go to the website unitytriangle.org for more details and to register. I hope to see you there. If you are looking for deep, transformational spiritual growth, you may want to consider our volunteer prayer chaplain program. Not only is becoming a prayer chaplain a powerful way to serve our spiritual community while opening your heart and praying confidentially one-on-one with individuals, the program also provides a special bond with people with common purpose. The prayer chaplain program is a higher level of commitment, and prayer chaplains serve for 1 year after receiving extensive training in affirmative prayer. So we only recruit once a year. If you feel the nudge to this call or would like to learn more about the prayer chaplain program, come to our informational meetings. You can also go to our website, unitytriangle.org, and reference the brochure for correct information. Please come and explore. This is yours to do.
Happy 4th of July. Welcome to Unity of the Triangle. This is a beautiful day, and we have a beautiful service for you.
Yes, I'm Reverend Anna Quintana. This is Neusom Holmes, and we are joyful that you are here connected online to share this time together. And let's get started with our...
Of the wonderful things that you get out of life, there are 4. And they may not be many, but nobody needs any more. Of the many facts, making a list of life, truth takes the lead, and to relax, knowing the gist of life, it's truth you need. And the second is honor, and happiness makes number 3. When you put them together, you know what the last one must be. As we know the truth, honor and happiness, just one thing more, meaning only wonderful, wonderful love that makes 4. Wonderful things that you get out of life, there are 4. And they may not be many, but nobody needs any more of the many facts, making a list of life. Truth takes the lead, and to just relax, knowing the gist of life. It's truth you need, and the second is honor, and happiness makes number 3. When you put them together, you know what the last one must be. Now we know that truth, honor, and happiness, just one thing more, meaning only wonderful, wonderful love, and that makes 4.
As we celebrate the 4th of July, Anna, you were telling me there's something about it that always strikes you as very poignant in your family.
Well, I was sharing with Rev Neusom that to me, the 4th of July, we really celebrate the independence of the United States of America, the creation of this nation, and freedom. Really, it's the desire of every human being to be free, and it's beyond maybe the traditional way of seeing freedom. But to me, the biggest gift is to have the freedom to be yourself. And years ago, my twins right now are 18, but they were like probably 3 months old. We were at our family house back in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we had a unity minister who came to bless our children. And when she looked at us, she said, particularly, she looked at me and she says, "Anna, what are you holding for your children?" And I remember saying, freedom to be. And I still remember to this day, because personally, that's like my biggest goal, that I can just be who I am and have no reservations and have that courage to express who I am in essence. So that's the story.
A beautiful story. And it is true that one of the best things that life can offer us is a sense of our own destiny being expressed through our own actions. And so
it's like it's a call at the soul level that has taken this body and this incarnation for a purpose. And we need to honor that in every way, because to me, that's the way to stay healthy, stay happy, stay alive.
So, thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
So we're going to continue this idea of being alive with Mimi saying a prayer that touches our hearts more deeply.
Thank you.
The prayer ministry prays over the names that are placed in this prayer box. So if you feel the nudge to be a part of this prayer ministry, then I encourage you to join the Prayer Chaplain program. You can go to the website for more information. So now let us pray. We turn to nature to be reminded of God's grace unfolding in all of creation. Nature unfolds graciously and freely according to universal law. There is no resistance in nature, only acceptance. We too have the freedom to choose how we live our lives. We choose to have dominion over our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, so that we live in harmony with and respect for others. We bless the unalienable right to freedom that we are all born with, and we honor and cherish this right in all of our actions. Nothing can disturb our freedom to choose our inner life. As the song goes, we are free in the Spirit, and we are only here for God. May every name in this prayer box remember they have the freedom to choose their relationship with the divine and with their truest selves. We also claim this truth for all those who have difficulty holding this truth for themselves. In the depths of our soul, we are free, regardless of outer circumstances and conditions. Thank you, God, for this freedom and for grace. And so we let it be. Amen.
beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful, all is well, all is beautiful, all is well.
Moving into meditation, let us find a way to sit that is comfortable, that allows our bodies to relax, but also lets us stay alert. So let's move and adjust. And then let's begin to pay attention to our breath. As we begin to go deeper, we'll just simply keep our concentration on our breath, bringing at least 60% of our attention to the breath. And to increase our sense of quiet and peace, let's deepen our breath using our belly to breathe, but also slowing the breath down. And breathing through the nose and letting the attention feel the breath as it comes in and comes out the nose. We let ourselves settle in and become quiet. And feel into the heart as we do this. Keeping attention on the breath, let the breath be focused in the heart, the center of the chest. And feel love growing with each breath. And asking the heart, what is your ideal? What is it you wish to be free in and as and for? Perhaps you may want to be free in love, to let your heart flow its love out into the world without fear or constraint. And to see that love connect and heal and heighten and harmonize with others. So that ultimately we become the love itself, defining ourselves as love. And being the love, we recognize that our bodies relax, our minds open, our heart comes to ease. We feel a sense of peace and acceptance. And we realize that we are always, already free in the Spirit. Free to be love, free to be at peace, and free to experience our oneness with all. So in this state of love, on this beautiful 4th of July, let us sit together in openness to our own hearts and know the love that we are, together in the silence.
Give us this day our daily bread. You said you would supply all my needs according to your riches. I have come to ask, and I shall receive.
Happy 4th of July again. We also want to say happy birthday to Tim Smith. This is his birthday. He is a Yankee Doodle dandy. So we thank Tim Smith for his long years of service with us and his great contribution to the joy and happiness of this community. So thank you, Tim Smith. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to our country. Our country has been going through a bit of self-examination over the last few years, especially in the last year. George Floyd's death and many of the things that have transpired in the last 18 months have caused us to look again at who we are as a country, and sometimes to hear the words of aspiration in the Declaration of Independence and other documents as though they were false. And I would like to propose something today, that we treat the country with the same degree of forgiveness and kindness that we would like to be treated ourselves. Truly, we needed to come forward and see ourselves more clearly. And I think there have been a lot of efforts to do that over the last year. In this church alone, we did a book called Caste, which did a great expose on the caste system in the United States that's been here from the beginning. And after reading that and looking at our past and remembering as much of history as I could, without being a scholar or without claiming to be an expert, my net assessment was we're a difficult country for many people. And that we came to this country, mostly Europeans, white Europeans came to this country, and the first thing we did was commit genocide with the native population. And the second thing we did was enslave other people, mostly Africans. So this becomes our legacy as much as the great things we have done as a country. And part of what we need to be able to do as a people is to look honestly at what we have done poorly and to look honestly at what we have done well. So when we have looked at what we have done poorly, it appears that we have treated people who don't look like the dominant society with less care and consideration, some with downright harm, some with some downright cruelty. We have done this. This is true. And this history of difficulty and cruelty and sense of disparity has followed us into the present moment. And so if we don't look at it, then we probably won't correct it. We have this as a legacy, but it does not have to be our future. And by that, I mean that the aspirational words of the Declaration of Independence and other documents of the United States are still true, and many of us still hold them in our hearts as a possibility for this country, which for many around the world is a bright and shining light of what life could be like, what freedom would be like, what the possibility of self-governance would be. And so we shall not throw out the baby with the bathwater, but we should clean the baby and then proceed on to dress and move the baby into a career of life as a free child, becoming more and more adapted to the world it is a part of. So let us think about that. I want to start with this phrase. It's found on the quarter of the United States money. And the phrase is e pluribus unum. E pluribus unum means from many one. And that, I think, is one of the beauties of the United States, is that we have taken and continue to take people from not of this continent and blend them together into a multi-racial, multi-ethnic, multi-religion, multi-educational society that is able to pull together to create some amazing things. You know, we are the people who went to the moon first, and we were the ones who pulled together in the 40s to defeat a dictator in Europe and to defeat the Japanese aggression in Asia, and to do it at the same time. Now that is an impressive state of affairs where a country can fight a war on both oceans and win. And it is because we were able to draw together for a singular purpose. And that purpose, of course, was to defeat someone else. But we have also been able to draw together for the purpose of creating a better society. And I believe that is what the motion, the movement of the United States has been since its beginning. Since the time of Thomas Jefferson, when he wrote those famous words that we hold that all people are equal, when he wrote something so eloquent as to say we were all essentially children of the divine, and therefore we had certain rights that come from that. He wrote that. I think he was not thinking as broadly as we are today. But part of the beauty of the evolving nature of a nation is that it can take what it has done well and build on it. And we as a nation, through fits and starts, and often against some people's wills, we have been able to pull ourselves toward those words that all men are created equal, meaning all people are created equal. And I would love for us to acknowledge on this day, the 4th of July, that while we have not done it well and not done it evenly, we have begun to move toward it and will continue to move toward it for probably hundreds of years to come. And this idea of arriving at a certain place where we recognize all people as being equal and of equal value, etc., I think this is a constant struggle against the other tendencies of our nature, which is to like people like ourselves, to favor some ideas over others, and to see some people as more worthy than other people. This is a long tradition in humanity. And the idea of ending slavery, which happened in the 1860s in this country, had been around for thousands of years. And so in so many ways, we're just on the beginning of this quest for really truly seeing each other as ourselves, and doing so, then treating each other as though we were family. Even in families, of course, we have disagreements. Even in families, sometimes our hearts are broken by something somebody said or did. Sometimes even in very difficult situations, there's pain and upset that breaks the family apart. But I think if we are wise as a country, we will remember this e pluribus unum, that out of many comes one. And to that, we need a degree of tolerance. But we also need a degree of standards. What is acceptable in the society shifts over time and continues to shift over time. And one of the things I like about the way it's shifting now is we are beginning to have a greater sense of acceptance for many of the classes of people that we did not hold for it before. We're beginning to see that their rights, their inalienable rights to be free, need self-expression, need to find the freedom to be themselves, the need to say how they would like the world to treat them. We are now extending that to greater numbers of people. And in so doing, I think what we're doing is we're beginning to form family. It may be slow and it may be tenuous. It may be like those cousins that you never really wanted to spend that much time with, but now, since they're cousins, they still come to the family reunion. It may be like that, but we're making more space for people. And if we hold that as an ideal for the country, I believe it will begin to happen progressively, to some degree, just by our intention. Now, there may need to be actions or even laws to help this, but in large part, it is when the hearts of people come into agreement about something that the real society changes. And it doesn't cause friction in the meantime. One of the beauties of the Christian tradition, I think, as I read the Bible, is that Jesus was for those people who were outcast in society. If you think about it, in the society of Palestine a couple of thousand years ago, few people were more hated than the tax collectors. It was not fair. Often they were known to take advantage of people. And they were very much a group of people that were outcast. They were a group of people that people loved to hate. And yet those are people that Jesus hung out with. Another group in a society that was so dominated by the idea of pride and of righteousness were the prostitutes. And it is known that Jesus hung out with prostitutes as well. Now, very few politicians these days would be caught doing that and keep their job. And so we have a long way to go to catch up with Jesus. I think one of the things we have failed to do is realize that every life has dignity, and life needs us to begin to see each person with dignity. And what that will do for us as human beings, as individuals and as a country, what that will do was to bring a greater sense of dignity to ourselves. When you think about it, when I think about it at least, I recognize that there's an aspect of almost everybody I see inside of me. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and those who are in many ways acting in ways that are painful or harmful to watch. And yet inside of me there's a character or characters that resemble those. And when I can find love and acceptance for them, I am making room for love and acceptance for myself. And in so doing, then I can relax a bit. I don't need to be so righteous. I don't need to be so angry or so indignant at what other people are doing. I can be more accepting. I can sit down at the table with them like Jesus did and share a meal. I can speak to them with love. I can say that their Heavenly Father is the same as mine. What a difference that would be. And this is, I think, the promise of a country that is made up of many different ethnic groups, many different people, that is the size of a continent, or nearly the size of a continent, and makes room for as many different types of people as they are on this earth. If we can truly embrace the promise of America, I think we will begin to become a more spiritual nation, a more really Christian nation, whether we use the name Christian or not, whether we're Muslim or Jewish or Buddhist or agnostic. We could be a more Christian nation by bringing love and acceptance to our neighbors. Jesus tells a famous story called the Good Samaritan. And the Good Samaritan is about a man from Samaria who takes care of a Jew who had fallen victim of robbers, left on the side of the road, beaten and suffering. And the outcast, the Samaritan, the unworthy ones to the Jewish group, is the one who took care of him. He treated him like a brother. And in so doing, when this story is ever told, it is shorthand to say a good Samaritan is essentially a good person. And so we can transform the way we look at the stranger, the other, and find them to be the good one, and be the good one to them, that we too can be the good Samaritan to them, that we find in our hearts that space. It says to those who don't look like us or come from a different group or caste, you are mine and I am yours. We are brothers and sisters in this life, and it's hard enough just as it is. Why not extend some kindness now? I think also that one of the things that will happen when that happens is that our sense of wasting our spiritual and emotional energy on things that separate us will be diminished. And it will allow us to focus more clearly on the enduring and deep and true things about life, the ones that last, the ones that are universal. And when we see the world with an eye toward what is true and what is universal, then it will be easier for us to penetrate the mysteries of this life, begin to see what is the true nature of things. I think when we do that, what we'll see is that we really are divine beings, carrying ourselves around in a body, carrying ourselves around in a body that has a particular face, a particular shape, a particular culture, etc., but divine beings in this grand expression of life. I sometimes wonder why there are so many of us, so many different shapes and colors, etc. And I begin to think that if God is unlimited and wants to be expressed, it's going to take everything to do it. The animals, the plants, rocks, trees, sky, stars, but also the multiplicity of human beings. It's going to take an enormous diversity just to express the possibilities that the divine has within its unlimited self. And it will produce out of this unlimited thing, unlimited self, so much diversity, and the wise will be able to pierce that diversity and come back and see the unity. On the 4th of July, when we celebrate a country that came together from 13 disparate colonies to fight the most powerful armies in the world and to win, maybe we should also take a moment to celebrate the possibilities of us, of all the diversity of who we are, coming together to fight the prejudice and the foolishness of our sense of separateness, and form against the habits of the world a sense of oneness, a union that is representative of the divine inside of us, and that we step forward with our highest aspirations, and we call on the highest aspirations of everyone, those who think like us and those who don't think much like us, to come together to create a more beautiful union, that we might create essentially a new heaven and a new earth here, combining the wisdom of politics with the wisdom of spirituality, to see the truth in each other and the possibilities for our country. On the 4th of July, on the day in which we celebrate its birth, let us also celebrate its possibilities, that it grow and become the light that it has always chosen to be, and to do it with more perfection, more love, and more complete kindness. And so it is. Happy 4th.
For heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self our country loves, and mercy more than life. America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. For spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountains, majesties above thy prudent plains, America. night good with brotherhood. He told me what from CEO Lord to shining sea. Yeah, America,
Another good talk.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much. So inspiring. And I must say that thank you for bringing your gift every week to us as you let Spirit inspire you, and you have the capability of just putting it out in a beautiful, coherent way. It's almost like a string of pearls that I would like to add one more pearl to that string. May I?
Yes.
Okay, I have a quote from Paramahansa Yogananda. Life has a bright side and a dark side, for the world of relativity is composed of light and shadows. If you permit your thoughts to dwell on evil, you yourself will become ugly. Look only for the good in everything, so that you absorb the quality of beauty. And so it is.
I believe you've been absorbing a lot of beauty.
Yeah. And that's about, it's freedom too.
It is freedom. Mm-hmm. And I do think we're really lucky to be free in this country. And also, I want to ask you for a free will love offering, as just to roll into the next thing. We are on the board and on the staff trying to encourage people to move to a state of freedom as far as their contributions to this church. The way we would like to offer it to you is that you do automatic giving. Automatic giving means you set it up with your credit card or your bank account. So something is withdrawn every month and it comes to the church and you don't have to think about it. It just happens automatically. And I do this, and it is a state of freedom to some degree. I don't have to think about writing a check or bringing some other form of payment. And it doesn't keep me from, at the end of the year, giving stocks, as I have done in the last few years, or some other large gift at any other time. It just keeps a steady flow. It turns out that our bills are very consistent. They happen every month. And so with the help of the congregation doing consistent giving and making it automatic, we are much more able to meet our needs with ease and grace.
And the beautiful part of this is that as we are consistent givers, we will be consistent receivers, because it's the law. Giving is really what prospers us. And when we give it with faith, with joy, with love, it's like the gates of heaven open. I'm a firm believer in that. So it's everybody wins.
Everybody wins. So we encourage you to go on the website. It only takes less than 5 minutes, maybe 2 or 3, and then you'll be good for as long as you want to continue supporting this church. Your gifts will come out automatically.
And may you know that we are truly committed to the mission that we are here to fulfill, to be the spiritual community that really wants to awake through love, service, and personal transformation. And everything we're doing here in every aspect is just to support that mission. And we so appreciate when you provide for the resources so that we may continue to do God's work in our community.
So let me thank you ahead of time. Thank you.
And then I have a slight affirmation change for our love offering.
All right.
And it says something, as I bless my good, I am astounded at its multiplicity. And this is a Catherine Ponder affirmation. So would you repeat it after me?
I'll try to.
As I bless my good, I am astounded at its multiplicity. The Puerto Rican teaching the American.
There you go.
But it's a multiplier effect. So anyways, it's just blessing has a multiplying effect, and that's the essence. So thank you so much for your gifts. And now we will culminate with a nice song as we give closure to our service today.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, family all on me. Let us walk with our family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.